Insurance. Insurance is a promise to pay. At Beacon, we keep our promise.
Renwick and Thompson and Subway.
It's the season for sorrel. A sweet drink sorrel. It's the season for sorrel. A sweet drink sorrel. Your favorite flavored soft drink now comes in a limited edition sorrel flavor. Enjoy a cool sorrel sweet drink this Christmas. Available in 591 ml packet sizes. Sweet drink, we drink. It's the season for sorrel. A sweet drink sorrel.
Proudly produced in Grenada by the Grenada Bottling Company Limited.
Partner is the laundry detergent that gets the job done. This multi-purpose brand is designed with you in mind, catering to all your needs. The soap bar and liquid detergent was created and added to S. Kumar's line of products. This addition guarantees to be mild on the skin, allowing the bar soap to be used as a beauty bar and ideal for hand washing. The liquid soap with added softener leaves your clothes with a bright clean while removing all odor, dirt, and grease. The liquid soap is ideal for your appliances, ensuring great performance. For luxurious laundry detergent, choose a partner.
We plan for every major life event, from birthday parties to baptisms, and celebrating a life well lived deserves the same thoughtful planning. Beacon's Rest Easy plan is designed to give your loved ones the comfort of knowing that they can do just that. With no underwriting and cover for up to 6 family members that includes certain injuries, this plan can be yours for as little as 75 cents per day. Call us at Beacon or log on to beacon.co.tt for more info today.
2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6.
Education multiplies their chances and places the world of opportunity in their hands. No matter where they are in the world, make sure they're prepared for their journey back to school with Western Union. School fees, books, room and board, whatever the reason. Knowledge, independence, opportunity. Western Union, moving money for better.
Good morning again, everyone. Welcome to another ladies' room. We are so happy to have you back. Yeah. Y'all caught me in camera weaving, right? Yeah, someone is out there checking in with us this morning. Of course, our winners are coming to get their prizes for 95 lights. Yeah, so ever so often they'll come peep through the glass and wave. I don't want them seeing that. I'm ignoring or pretending I don't see them. So I gotta wave back. Anywho's, good morning again, guys. Welcome back to another show. Thank you so much for checking in. Good morning, Chriselle, Andrea, Jenell, Stephanie, Celicia. Good morning, Nessa. Good morning, Wendy, Dale, Neptune. Good morning, Rita, Deborah, Harolyn. Good morning. Good morning, Michaela. Good morning, Linda, Celicia. Again, morning, Nicole. Good morning, ladies. Where are the men? Come on in, guys. Come on in. Harolyn, I'm seeing you all over my Jamaican platforms, I swear. I tell people these days I'm just slipping in Grenada, but I swear I live in Jamaica. All of those bloggers, all of those influencers, all of those, you can catch me on all those lives with all the craziness these days. It is so entertaining, I swear. I thought we had drama and stuff here. We pale in comparison to what happens over there with the Auntie Donnas and the whoever's and Your Majesty. And oh my gosh, it is a lot to keep up with on a daily basis. But if you're looking for entertainment, that's where it is. Good morning, Akeem. Good morning, Lydia. We are back this morning to catch up, basically. We had Jenell Lewis from GIDC here. Was it last week? Was it last week? Was it last week, Jenell? The week before? Okay, it seems like it was last week. So Jenell is back, and we are joined by Chriselle Benjamin as well this morning from the GDB. Chriselle Jerome is the communications officer from the GDB, and we're joined by both ladies this morning to bring us up to speed with what's happening. I know we asked the question, and of course Jenell wasn't in a position to answer some of it regarding funding and all of that, and she did promise to bring Chriselle, and she is here. Willem, James, good morning. Clifford, good morning. Good to have you guys here with us. Alrighty, let me see if we can get it up and running. Hold on. I'm not seeing Chriselle in the bottom, so let me put you at the top and add Jenell here. Okay, that's better. Good. Fantastic. So let me say special morning to you ladies. Welcome. Good to have you here with us. How are you today?
Good
Good
morning. Thanks for
morning.
having us back. We're doing good.
Thank you. Thanks for having Jenell back, and thank you for inviting me. And
I'm
we're
not
good.
I'm not sure what fancy stuff Chriselle have going on over there. I'm seeing you with you're using the green room the green room thingy.
Yes, I'm using that. I'm at home, and I don't think I have the appropriate background for
Listen, any background will do. Put in somewhere, it does not matter. What you have to say is more important, all righty? Nevertheless, it's so good to have you back, Jenell, and of course, welcome to Chriselle, and good morning to everyone. Who is Bay? Who Sam Jim? Who is Bay on this live here? Be very clear and specific with your baying this morning. Hey,
Jenell.
look Bay. I'm not sure which one, but I'm getting look Bay. Like I said, it's good to have you ladies back. So Janelle, of course, we have a lot to catch up on. We spoke about, the opportunities that are available for young people and getting interested in starting their own businesses, small businesses. And one of the complaints we've had that folks seem not to have the information. They don't seem to be clear as to where to go, what to do, how to, even start, where to even start. All they know, they've got an idea and don't know what to do with the idea. So this morning we want to look at that a bit. The registration, company incorporation, advice and counseling, all of that, business plan development and all that. We want to talk about that. And no time is limited, so we're gonna have to condense it as much as possible to ensure that we get all the information in. So who's going first?
Well, I can start, and then Chriselle would come in wherever necessary if needs be.
Okay, go
So
ahead.
we would have introduced last week when we came, but week before, sorry, when we came, we introduced GIDC in terms of our services, the things that we do. So the key thing here, it will be when you talk about business in terms of business development and so on. We had mentioned the incentives that are available for businesses under the MSME program. But one of the things, when we talk about the incentives available, your business has to be registered, right? So that's one of the first things. And then people are like, I don't know where to go to register my business. I don't even know where to start. What documents do I need? So this is where GIDC comes in. You come in, it's a simple form. You describe your business activities and so on. So that's what we assist in for small businesses. Your business name registration. In terms of, you might be using a name, but you never know, somebody else would have registered that business years ago. It's probably not in existence. So in terms of the name, search to see if your business name is available. We'll do all of that for you. Register your business. If it's company incorporation, when Shevelin spoke in terms of the grant financing, which is separate from this, she did mention in terms of business advice and counseling for people who may not have qualified under the training program. And they do have a business, looking at it and seeing if it's viable, or this is what you need to do. Maybe you need to take on somebody else. Probably look at merging these two products. Whatever it is, we're able to assist you with that advice, your record keeping, your business plan development. When you're going to GDB now to get that loan, they'll want to have like a business plan, see what you're doing. So there's assistance available for every little intricate detail. If it feels too overwhelming, just call us at GIDC. We can help.
Alrighty. Chriselle, you want to bring in Chriselle here? So we spoke about, and of course, when I asked the prime minister the question, we heard that there were a stimulus program, as it relates to funding for small businesses. So can you bring us up to speed as to what that is? How does it work? What one has to do, and all of that, in terms of the stimulus program?
Crystal, you're mute.
You mute. Okay, hold on. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so that is correct. We do have some financing available for MSMEs. So MSMEs mean micro, small, and medium enterprises who have
Okay.
been negatively affected by COVID-19, which is arguably all, or quite possibly all of them. So there are funds available for that. It is a loan. It is not a grant, which means that you'd have to pay it back.
Feedback.
So grants you do not have to pay back. It is given to you to undertake some project in your business, but loans you would have to pay back. So many people, that loan has been doing so very well that we actually had to go back to the government and ask if it's possible that you've got a little something left over, from the budget that you can probably give to us. Because that loan is being offered at a 1% interest rate. We can all agree that there isn't anywhere, I haven't heard of it, where you
Anywhere.
can where you can go and receive a business loan or any loan for that matter at 1%. So, of course, I am happy that Jenell started out with business registration because that is a criterion you can't get past. It doesn't matter how long you've been operating. It doesn't matter if you have a perfect business plan. It doesn't matter if your accounts are all up to date and your financial information is all up to date. You
must
will not be able to receive that loan or any business loan within our institution if you do not have your business registered. And that is one of the perks of having a registered business. You are able to receive the loans, the grants, the technical financing, the stimulus packages, whatever it is that is being provided for businesses. You are able to receive that once you have registered your business. And of course, there will be other terms and conditions. Okay. So that loan, again, it's being offered at a 1% interest rate. It's a 12-year repayment period, and your maximum amount is $300,000. So there isn't a minimum, there is a maximum. So you can receive up to $300,000. And that loan can be used for basically anything to do with your business. So if you are
even if it's a startup, the startup fall under that.
Yes, you'll be able to start your business. We have some businesses that are emerging or probably has already emerged because of the pandemic. So now we are seeing a rise in delivery services or e-commerce services. So that's included if you're starting up. If you are looking for operational expenses, some people call it working capital, it's possible. If you are making some changes to your business in terms of being more, adaptive to COVID-19. So now we are seeing businesses putting in the faucets where you don't have to touch it. We are seeing people installing the hand sanitizers on the wall, all these things. We call it COVID adaptation methods. So you can qualify for that if you're looking at marketing, diversifying, and the list goes on. Because we can't sit here and fathom what anybody would think of doing with their business. So as long as whatever it is that the project you're undertaking, it's to do with your business, it enhances your business, you can apply for the MSME fund. So that is the MSME fund in particular. We do have many other business loans, but I feel like at this juncture, we would want to focus on that.
Okay. Someone here is asking for a little bit more in terms of what you need to qualify for those loans. You mentioned, of course, must register in the business. What else?
We would want you to be Grenadian, of course, because our institution was designed to help Grenadians to grow the Grenadian economy, to develop our people. So you must have some form of Grenadian citizenship. We would ask that you are tax compliant. That's another thing that we find with small businesses. I see Jenell is smiling like you get that. So we have people that are involved in business, but they are not tax compliant. Their business may be registered, but they are not tax compliant. So we need to ensure that you are tax compliant, because no, it's kind of like using the government money to give you that, we're giving you the government money and you didn't pay the government their taxes. So we need to ensure, exactly, we need to ensure that you're tax compliant. be registered with NIS, which again is another sore topic. We have many sole traders. They are not registered with NIS as self-employed people. The law dictates that you are registered as a self-employed person with NIS, so we would expect nothing less. Aruna, we have had workshops and trainings and speak with people along that line. And you know, this is my favorite response of all the responses as to why they are not registered with NIS. Another money to spend again? This is my favorite response out of all the responses that we have heard, because it goes to show our lack of understanding as to what NIS can do for you. So
And then do some more work as well.
that's
PR
the thing.
more if we still.
So I think NIS do a really good job. I think it's a matter of us being able to understand the message that is sent also. So in that very workshop, we were doing that workshop with bus operators, the conductors, the drivers, whatnot. So I asked the conductor, I said, do you know that you can receive sick leave benefits? If you are sick one day and for some reason you're unable to get on the bus and pull the door, do you know that you can receive sick leave benefits if you're registered with NIS and your payments are up to date? And he did not know that. If you are injured on the bus, maybe you are pulling the bus door and you happen to break your finger or something. I don't know the possibility of that, but I mean, things happen, right? If that happens and you are injured on the job, NIS has a package for your injury, your injury benefits. So it's injury on the job benefits. And then we have a
Nothing
number of
else,
things.
I think COVID would certainly, was glaringly clear as to why you need to be,
Exactly.
registered with ANIS and all of that, because
Exactly.
there are folks who got benefits as a result of that, who got some help along the way, out of their job for how many months and what have you, or being laid off or whatever it was. But one of the criteria for receiving some of these help or stimulus packages or whatever, you supposed to be registered. So there were benefits that were glaringly clear of being registered. So I think by now, if we don't get it now, I'm not sure when we're gonna get it, but
And there is also the opposite. There are people who would tell you stories of them having not been able to receive the stimulus packages because their business wasn't registered or they were not registered with NIS. And it's by no mistake that when the government designed that stimulus package, that they did it that way, I'm sure. Yeah. So that the registration with NIS, being tax compliant, having your business registered, being of Grenadian citizenship, we would like that you have a proposal ready. We would need to know what project are you doing, how much it's going to cost,
business plan.
Yes. How are you proposing you do that? Do you need to do construction? How long will the construction take? All these things, because it's not to say it colloquially, a willy-nilly thing where you come and it's just given to you. No, it is structurally sound, and we do need to follow the laws of the land. So those we mentioned those, you would need that. If there are other things that we would ask of you, for example, if we're dealing with property, if your business is probably, let's say it's a hair salon, and you are looking to expand or whatnot, we know there's property in play in this particular loan. So we may ask you, do you own the property? Do you have a lease? Do you have permission to do what you're doing? So for everybody's loan process will be different because no two loans are the same.
True.
Okay, go on. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to give another example of a difference that would happen. Say if you are purchasing a tractor, you obviously would have to provide different documents than the person who's probably building an apartment building. So for the tractor, for example, you will be asked for the valuation of the machine. the cost of the machine. We would ensure that you are licensed to drive that machine, or the person that you're hiring is licensed for that machine, and these kind of things. So again, no two loan processes are the same.
Okay, so I've got two questions, one for you and one for Jenell from Sam. So for you, someone's asking, what if it were a new business but not yet in operation? Would you need to register with NIS as well? No workers to date, no business activity. And
Are you
Janelle,
not
he's asking, what are the fees for registration and cooperation at GIDC? So,
okay?
Chriselle?
So I'll go first.
Mm-hmm.
Sam, even if you do not have employees, you are an employee. And that's the thing with sole traders. You are the owner of the business, but at the same time, you're also working there. So you are also an employee, and that's why you would register as a self-employed person.
That answers the question. Janelle?
Yes, so the fees is $65.25 for the business registration. And the same applies. So Chriselle spoke about the financing, but the same applies when you're applying for incentives. So even if your business is new, you still need to have a business plan, or at least some projected financials. So you know what you're selling, you know what it might cost you to get what you're selling, whether it's services. So if it might cost you your training or you training your employees, you know what the cost of your services would be to the person. So your projected financials or so, but we can also help you with that at GIDC. So with everything, and you still need to register with NIS and the Inland Revenue Department. And just one thing on Inland Revenue and taxes, because I know Chriselle spoke about the taxes in a way that you have to be tax compliant, but generally small businesses, the taxes that they qualify for is just the yearly stamp tax.
Yes.
So I know there's this hesitation because
When you hear
there's
tax, you think
NIS, and then once you're registered for taxes, there's a mountain of taxes. There's a certain threshold and so on. And who knows, maybe one day we might probably try to get Inland Revenue on the program to explain it. Because when you register a business, there's so much that you can benefit. So the benefit outweighs whatever risk that it is or that you think there is. So you apply for incentives based on your business activities. As I said, when I came on the first program, you're making jams, body butters, whatever it is that you're doing. These are under the priority sectors. So there are incentives available for you for startup, raw materials, packaging materials. If it is that you're constantly bringing it in, you just come in, we do an assessment, everything. Once you go through and you qualify, you get your incentive package, you have your letter to go to customs when it is that you're bringing in your item. So it's a process. You have to call, get the information, get the details, make sure you register, and depending on how far you are in your business. So let's say you're not registered as yet with NIS, that might slow down the time for your assessment to be done. But it starts with a phone call. It starts with calling 444-1035 and asking for information and being prepared to just do a little work. It's not as Chriselle said, not willy-nilly, being prepared to provide your documents and do this, and but we guide you. It's not a tedious process. We guide you. We have competent and willing staff. As for Miss Sylvester, that's willing to assist you. That's willing to assist you with the whole process.
because the thing is, people might seem to think, okay, but for example, lately you see a lot of barbecue stands, popping up. You'll walk about a minute and you see another one, and folks seem to think, all right, well, this person seemed to be doing well at this corner, so let me put another barbecue stand at the other corner, and that's it, and not realizing. So how important it is for planning, even if it's just a little barbecue stand you have. Sometimes how you do it and what you do could make the world difference. The person up the road probably might give you some coleslaw. You might decide, you know what, let me throw some corn and some bread rolls or some fries or something else in the mix at one price. So there are little things you can do to make, to enhance the business, and not just say, oh well, it's a little barbecue thing I'm trying. Let me just buy a stand. I find a man at the spot and see a lot of people supporting the man, so let me do something up the road. And then you're wondering why you're not getting, the same amount of crowd you're seeing down the road. So how important it is planning and advice and counseling in starting your business and all of that.
Aruna, you use my favorite example. The barbecue stand, that is my favorite example because one of the things that we see here is the lack of innovation. And if we are paying attention, the businesses, the companies that survive, that go far, are the ones that are innovative. There's never been anything like Facebook. It's the first time I'm signing on to StreamYard. That's the app that we're using right now. I've never signed on to it before. I didn't know it existed until now because COVID had made it so that we are learning new things, we are being innovative, and we're taking advantage of technology. And I use the barbecue stand all the time because everywhere I go, it's the same barbecue. It's the same pork. It's the same chicken. It's the
No
same
extra
sauce.
sauce, no nothing.
And I'm happy that you spoke about the rolls and the corn and the bread. And that brings us to the supply and demand. Yes, that gentleman down there is making money, but that's because him and him alone, he's catering to 10 people. Now you go, you join him, suddenly there's 2 of you and there's still only 10 people. So now it's either it's going to be split down the middle, or they would prefer him because they know him, they know how it tastes, they're already loyal to him. Somebody may decide, okay, let me try, but it's only still 10 people. So how do you deal with that? What does your market look like? What does your customers look like? And that's where you would see that if you take a time to sit and write your business plan, because your business plan allows you, it forces you to take a critical look at your business and where you want it to go. And this is not about just in the start of your business, but all through, because nothing says that your 5-year business plan can't be adjusted or amended based on what's happening in the environment. And I say environment clearly because of COVID, because somebody in 2018 may have had a business plan for 5 years, but COVID came in 2019, 2020. So that business plan must have undergone quite a drastic change, and that is okay. So we need to sit, do that plan, decide what can I do differently? Who are my customers? Who are my competitors? What are they offering? What can I do different? How can I do it different? How can I be different and still make a profit, or at least be viable? Yes, and viability and profitability is different. Viability is basically being able to survive. You may break even, you may make a loss at the end of the year, or you may make some profits. But profitability means that you have a surplus. Not all businesses will have a surplus all the time. In fact, when you are starting off, it is said that at least 3 in 5 businesses make a loss during their first 3 to 5 years. So you would have to be prepared to have your business work tirelessly, blood, sweat, tears for 5 years and not make a profit. You'd have to be prepared for that. But at the same time, your business plan, because you have a growth plan, because you have financial projections, it would allow you to basically maneuver based on what happens in the sector that you're in, because again, some sectors are more stable than others. We would again have seen that in COVID, where some sectors were flourishing because we must eat, we must go to the supermarket. So you know that the supermarkets are going to be there. We're always going to need food. We must have our vegetables again. So you would see some forms of agriculture being there. Sometimes we have limited amount of eggs. So again, if you pay attention to what's happening, you can see how the sectors fluctuate or sometimes stay the same. And
how
all of
important
that
is record keeping too? How important is record?
the most important, the most important, Aruna, this again is another problem that we see from time to time with our small business owners. They do not keep records, or it's not adequate, or it's not done correctly. And we've had workshops for bookkeeping and record keeping where we say, okay, yes, we understand that it can sometimes look like a mountain, because some of us, we feel a little bit threatened when coming to accounts here. But at the same time, we have apps these days that are making it a little bit simpler for us. We have little processes that you can make use of. So, for example, the ATM provides you with receipts. So at the end of each day, you can go to that 24-hour machine. And I say 24 hours because one of the excuses that we'll get is, oh, the banks are closed. I finished work late. I don't have time to go to the banks. You can go to the ATM, you can deposit, you can withdraw at the same time, because again, some of us, we do not have excess. Small business people, many of us go, you get the corn, you roast the corn today, you need that very money to go back and get some more corn at the end of the day. So that's okay. Deposit, withdraw. But just like that, passing it through the ATM automatically passes it through the bank. It automatically gives you a record. It can be something as simple as using a notebook. How much did I spend? How much did I make? What did I buy? And that helps you with your inventory also. Did you buy 60 corns but only sold 40? So record keeping is very, very important. If you go to any financial institution, especially Grenada Development Bank, and you tell your loan officer that you have been in business for 1 year, she will ask you for 6 months worth of financial records.
Now, my next question is costing and pricing, because I'll go by Tom. His barbecue is $10. I go up the road by what's his name in St. Paul's, and it probably be 12. Or I go higher up and it'll be 15. Costing and pricing. How important is that in terms of business?
Well, it is important. You do want to ensure that you are somewhere within the comparative level. But at the same time, there are a number of ways that you can choose how you price or cost your item. Because again, your price is not your cost, right? So the gentleman in St. Paul's, he's very popular. He's probably using a value-based pricing, because if you go to that gentleman, you have the garlic sauce, and it's the best sauce on the island. So why not pay the gentleman for his sauce?
Extra for his sauce, right?
You understand? And that may be a value-based pricing. But you may have some people who only now came on the scene, so to speak, and we are not yet accustomed to them. We don't know how your sauce tastes. We have not had your barbecue. So some people may choose to use the penetration pricing, where we are simply trying to gain market share. So they will put a price, usually a very lower price, just so that we get used to them, we get accustomed to them, we understand what they are doing. They kind of wet our taste buds a little bit. And next week they're like, okay, now, pay your money.
And they wet you with it.
Exactly. But most people, they look at what was bought, the time, and then they decide, all right, I would like to make $2 on each piece of barbecue chicken. So it may have cost you $10 to get that one piece of chicken together, from the purchase to the seasoning to the sauces to the barbecuing. And then you may say, all right, I need something for myself. So that's where you decide how much do you want for yourself. And that's where the $2 and the $3 may come in. So I think go on, Jenell.
Sorry, I was just going to say, and just to interject on that, because even with Chriselle speaking, and it might seem so basic, for the people who do not know how to analyze your costs and see your profit margin and so on, we are here at GIDC to help you with your costing and your pricing.
It just feels like people just throw prices like willy-nilly.
Yes, so to
analyze
and see, because sometimes you might think that, okay, this person is selling it for that price and this is probably the market price. And then when you look, there is no way you can survive selling it at that price. So that is why it is so important. If you don't know and it seems so overwhelming and so intimidating, just call. We can help. There are people to help you sit and discuss and analyze everything with you so you don't feel alone. Also, you don't say, oh, there's nothing to help and this thing is that and I don't know about this and, I didn't go to school for that and all of these things. Like, just take it easy, take a step back, gather your thoughts, gather what it is that you want to do, and then call us at GIDC.
Sam behave. That's just people want to sell 5 barbecue legs and make enough money to buy a house. The whole of us is surviving at some point. Talking about buying a house, though, how important is market analysis? Because sometimes I see some businesses in some locations, and I'm like, how are they surviving? It seems so out of the way. Like, like somewhere, I mean, again, I think probably it's based on the business that you have, but I see some businesses in some really weird places, and I often wonder, do they like get customers, or how do they, or just wake up and okay, I'm living up in some favorite place, Red Mud, and I decide, you know what, I'm gonna open a salon in Red Mud. Have I thought about how my customers will get to me and all those things? So how important is analyzing the market before you start a business?
Well, Aruna, probably their customers are in Red Mud.
But that's the point of when you sit and you put your plan together, your business plan. These are all the questions that are going to be asked to you. Okay, you want to sell buns. Where are you going to sell the buns? What are you going to do? Has anyone ever expressed interest in buying your buns? Do you see another bun location? And that comes into with the business plan and assistance with the business plan and the assistance that GIDC gives with your business plan, with the business advice, with the assessment of your business, with sitting and really analyzing the viability of your business to make you prosper, to have your business grow and further develop. Because you probably can't do it alone. You might see, and there's a lot of times we see things happening and we think, okay, I can do this too, but we don't know the intricacies on the other side. We don't know what that person has to deal with in relation to their business. Perhaps they have a partner in that location, whatever it is. But for your specific business needs, to analyze your business, for you to mind your business, that is what is important, and that is what we help with.
Sheena is asking, does GIDC charge a consultancy fee to discuss all these topics and help a business come up with these answers?
For the assessment, if you're doing an assessment, so let's say, for example, there's an assessment for incentives. So perfect example, you're applying for incentives. If your business has not been registered, then obviously there's a separate fee to have your business registered. But let's say, for example, you're bringing in your NIS document, your business registration, your plan. Let's assume everything is almost put together. So there is an appraisal fee. It depends on the size of your project. Most people, it's less than $300 based on the size of their project. Larger project, $1 million, $10 million, and so on. Obviously, the appraisal fee is a percentage thereabout. But all the fees are a percentage of your project or of your investment. So for small businesses, you're not going to pay an arm and a leg. But you can always contact us for further details on.
I have a lot more questions, but I will not be able to get through them all today because we're almost out of time. But Jenell and Chriselle, can I get a commitment to come back next week, because there's more questions on that I really need to ask.
Look at Chriselle's face. No, Chriselle is not on island next week.
Next week, Thursday. Today's Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. Okay, no problem. We can do next week.
Yeah,
Wednesday.
because I have other questions. Because my final question, though, is how important is branding and marketing? Because I just glanced at the screen and I'm like, wait. I see my power branding, and then I'm realizing Jenell has a GI in the background.
And Chriselle is trying to have the GDB banner.
It works for today. I'm seeing, the branding. So that just hit me like, wow. I'm looking at the screen. I'm like, wow, we're well branded today. GIDC and Grenada Development Bank at the background. And it really pops out at me because now I know who I'm speaking with, who I'm dealing with. And many times I see businesses, there are no signs, no nothing, no contact. You even see packages in supermarkets, Chriselle's plums too. That's it. No location, no number, no ingredients, no nothing, but just Chriselle's plums too. Or you just see something, or you'll see a business just pop up somewhere, no name, no nothing. So how important is branding and marketing when you're starting a business?
Well, branding and marketing is extremely important. But one of the things that we look at also, we don't necessarily do like your labeling and so on, but based on your product, then you will be advised you need to have your labeling specifications, etc. And then we'll advise you. And that's the thing, GIDC, in a sense, it's the kind of hub for all the information you need. Even if we're not there to, even if we don't do it, we would tell you, okay, you have to.
Okay,
Well,
I think Jenell dropped off. I think
yes,
Jenell dropped off. But I will take from here. I will take on from here. Carry on.
okay,
So
cool.
Jenell is right. Oh, she's coming back.
Oh, right.
Hi, Jenell. Welcome back.
And my background disappeared. Right.
Isn't that
So
ironic when you're talking about branding?
right, exactly. So one of the things we would at least advise you where it is that you're supposed to go. So if it's the Bureau of Standards that generally deals with, they would tell you, okay, you're making products for skin, you need to label it this way, anything for consumption. So they have all the intricate details of what you need. But when you come for the advice and we do the assessments and everything like that, we do it in a way for you to succeed. So it's not just, oh, we do our part. That's not us. I don't know where we help you, we tell you what it is. But branding is extremely important in terms of your logo. Even when you think about the incentives, if it is that you were to bring in a vehicle for use in your business, your logo needs to be affixed to your vehicle. We want people to know that this is Chriselle's plums and this is Arena's cake. So to have the visibility out there. And at least if anything, social media tells us that branding is important, visibility is important, your unique brand presence is important.
I want to take branding just a little further. The way I like to think about branding is one single word, your reputation. So, yes, we have the logos, yes, we have the names and the addresses and whatnot, but what does that tell us? When I hear GIDC, what do I think? When I hear Power FM or Grenada Development Bank, what do I think of? And if our labels and our names and our logos are allowing people to think negatively of us, then that's not the kind of branding that we want. That's not the kind of image that we want. Even the name of our businesses, we would want to pay attention to that. It is said, exactly. It is said that if you're thinking of your business name, your business logo, your tagline, you would want to think of everything negative, positive that somebody can say about that. You would want to think of all the words that rhyme with that, because let's face it, we can get quite creative. We're changing a letter into another one and switching the first letter with another letter and these kind of things. And all of that could influence a negative image or a negative brand. So it's not just about having the best label on our tambourine balls. It's also about having the best tambourine balls. And when people put that tambourine ball in them, they can say, oh, wow, this is the best I've ever had. And people can further recommend, and then you can have that positivity associated with your brand, with your image.
We are so out of time, guys. But like I said, I have a commitment from you, so we're gonna be back. So we can discuss, of course, more on branding and all those things, and we can also speak on the options for people who are already employed and trying to fund their second source of income. We'll still have to talk about that, as well as investment in incentives as a way of developing different sectors and our local small businesses, etc. We still have to speak on that. So next week, God's will, I'll formalize the time with Jenell, and of course she'll let you know. I think we said next Thursday, right?
Yeah, next Thursday should be fine.
Wednesday.
Okay, so we'll
today
finalize.
Wednesday.
We'll
Women. Okay.
finalize it as we move on. Alrighty. But
Okay.
thanks so much, ladies, and for those of you with businesses, I saw, as a matter of fact, it was last week I had that experience. Imagine you have a business and you're emailing the person, the email address is sexy d something. I'm like, what is this? Like, oh, your business and your email address is sexy. Like, anyway, we have to talk about all those things. It's totally
But
very
Aruna, I noticed that many people started wising up. So at some point they will change that,
Let's hope.
to probably Chriselle at Outlook or C Jerome.
Sexy
Yes.
something. Ladies, it was an absolute pleasure, and thank you so much, everyone in the audience, for yeah, you guys were really interactive today. So hope you'll join us again next week, so we can have a continuation of sorts. Alrighty. So I really appreciate the time today, guys. It was
Thank
really
you for
really
having
well
us.
done.
Thank you.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you
Okay.
next week.
Alrighty.
All right.
And that's about it. Yeah, I know. I tried, but try to keep it tight, but it was a lot of information. Anywho's, thank you so much, Sweet Drink Sorrel, Esquimalt Variety Store, Western Union, and Beacon Insurance for taking us through today. And thanks so much, everyone on the live, for chiming in. Really appreciate you as well. We'll have more next week. Alrighty.